All right, let's talk about something that gives every cybersecurity student a minor heart attack. You're in a timed Active Directory lab, you go to use your favorite tool, BloodHound, and nope, it's blocked. It's off limits. Suddenly, that beautiful map you rely on is just gone. And just like that, poof, everything feels like random Windows noise, doesn't it? You're lost, you're clicking around, you're hoping you stumble onto something useful. Honestly, it's the fastest way to burn hours and get absolutely nowhere. But what if there was a way to just cut through all that noise? A way to replace that missing graph with a calm, repeatable process that actually works. Yeah, this is the exact moment people hit a wall. See, the problem isn't really a lack of tools. There are plenty of tools. The problem is you've lost your map. So what we need is a whole new way to navigate, a new way to move with purpose. Look, let's be real. The first time you try this without your map, it's so easy to just fill up a folder with a ton of screenshots, random command outputs. It feels productive, right? But then you look at it later and realize you can't even reproduce a single check. That's not evidence, that's just digital confetti. Our goal is different. We want to build clean, grader-friendly proof, undeniable evidence that stands up to any kind of scrutiny. So, how do we actually do that? Well, we're going to replace that panicked, I'm lost feeling with a new compass. It's a simple, methodical process that's going to become your rhythm for making real, tangible progress. We call it the loop. And this right here, this is the core of the whole thing. It's so simple. First, you scan with a tool, let's say ACLScanner in PowerView, to find a potential path. Next, and this is key, you prove that path is real with cold, hard evidence. And finally, you pivot. You use that brand new access to get a new position on the board. Then, you just do it again. It's a tight, disciplined loop. Scan, prove, pivot, repeat. Now, here's what's really cool about this. It's how you document it. You're basically building your own little graph, one step at a time, just by writing a simple sentence in your notes for every single finding. It forces you to think clearly. Who am I? That's the principle. What permission do I have? That's the right. On what object? That's your target. What can I do with it? That's the action. And where does that put me? That's your new position. This quote, this is the entire mindset in a nutshell. This isn't about collecting screenshots. It's about deep understanding. If you can't boil down your finding into that one single, clear sentence, you don't really get it. You don't own it yet, and you for sure can't build your next move on it. Okay, so that's the theory. Let's get practical. Let's actually break down each phase of the loop. How do we turn this idea into a rhythm you can actually use when the clock is ticking? Step 1, ACL scanner. Your goal here is speed. Seriously, don't get bogged down. Don't try to scan the entire domain. Just find like 3 plausible-looking candidates and stop. Step 2, proof. Now you pump the brakes. Slow down. Pick just one of those candidates and prove it. Lock it down with solid, minimal proof. Then step 3, pivot. You take the smallest, safest action you can to use that new right, just enough to create a new attack surface. And only then do you start the loop all over again. And to make absolutely sure your proof is rock solid, you use this checklist. I call it the 5-point proof pack. Your notes for every single finding have to contain these 5 things. Who are you? What's the target? What's the specific permission? What's the exact line of output that proves it? And, this is the big one, what is the single command to run to reproduce this finding from scratch? That last one is non-negotiable. It's what turns a flimsy claim into undeniable evidence. So, what are you even looking for during that super fast scanning phase? You're hunting for permissions that let you change stuff, write-like permissions. You want to focus on these heavy hitters, generic all, which is basically God mode, write DACL, which lets you change permissions for other people, add member, you can see how that's useful, and of course reset password. These are the rights that let you actually take action and pivot. Now, being this disciplined is absolutely crucial because it helps you sidestep all the common failure modes that can just completely kill your momentum in a timed exam. So let's talk about the traps and, more importantly, how to avoid them. This right here, this is the difference between passing and failing. A healthy loop is time-boxed. You're always making progress. You spend maybe 20 minutes scanning, 25 minutes proving, then 15 minutes to pivot and rescan. But the unhealthy loop? Oh, that's the death spiral of just one more scan, and before you know it, an hour has gone by, you've got a mountain of output and 0 actual provable progress. So here's what you gotta hammer into your brain to stay out of that spiral. First, do not scan forever. Find a few candidates, then stop and prove one. Second, learn to ignore the noise. Default permissions are almost never the intended path in a lab environment. And third, remember that context is everything. Proving you can control some random group is useless. It's just more confetti until you prove what that group can actually do. A write without impact is not a finding, period. I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds a little, boring. Maybe a bit restrictive, right? But I'm telling you, that consistency, that boring rhythm, is actually its greatest strength. It's how you build real, transferable skill that holds up under pressure. Think of your evidence in tiers. At the bottom, you've got tier 1, which is just interesting output. It's weak, it's easy to misread. Your goal is to climb up to at least tier 3, a specific ACL line plus a verified statement of its impact. That's solid. But the top is tier 5, undeniable report-ready proof with before and after evidence and perfect reproduction steps. This loop literally forces you up that ladder. So what you're really doing here is you're building that graph from scratch, but in slow motion. You're building it in your notes and, more importantly, in your head. And that process forces a level of understanding that just clicking around a GUI can never, ever replicate. That deep comprehension, that's the real prize. That's what you take with you to any environment, with or without your favorite tools. So I want you to leave with this thought. Don't look at this disciplined process as a restriction or some kind of workaround. It's not a limitation. It's an engine. It's a machine for converting uncertainty into momentum, one provable, concrete step at a time. So what's your next step? Don't just file this information away. Try it. Seriously, take 15 minutes right now. Pick whatever user you're on in a lab, run a quick scan just to find 3 potential candidates. Then pick one and build that 5-point proof pack for it. And you know what? Even if it's a total dead end, document why. That's still progress. That's how you stop guessing and start navigating. Give it a shot. You'll be amazed at the clarity it brings.